So what I also got from that was that Dan is kind of a witch, so don't fuck with him.
Yeah.
The location you tagged was your bed. My favorite shade of green is in your ass. Are you guys fucking with me right now, or is this like legit true story?
¿Por qué, Rosalita?
Are you Amish? Welcome to Unshut, a place where if at any point you feel like you need to shut the f up, don't.
Hey,
how's it going?
What's
Hey.
up? How's it going?
It's going good. How are you guys doing?
We're
Good.
doing great. We're on a little bit of a writing trip right now, just hanging out and writing some new songs and stuff.
Where's this writing trip at?
So it's down in Key West, not too far from us, but yeah. So we are down all the way in Key West. I'm playing some video games, watching Pirates of the Caribbean, and hoping to write some music. So
Music or magic?
hopefully magic.
Yeah.
Hopefully
A little
magic.
bit of both.
Amazing. Well, I'm ready to get started. I'm already recording if you guys are ready to go.
Sweet, let's do it.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Nightbreakers. I'm like totally cheesing right now because I was expecting so many different screens, was not expecting everyone to be actually together. So
We're all here.
We're all here. All here.
that's amazing. So before we even start, I want to start off by asking all of you guys individually to introduce yourselves, and then we'll keep going.
I'm Logan, play drums.
I'm Zakk. I'm the singer.
My name's Dan. I play guitar.
I'm Spencer, I'm the bassist.
And I'm David, and I play guitar.
Same
Dan,
thing.
I'm excited you're wearing sunglasses. I was unsure if you were going to be in shades or not. So
Always. Always.
Can't show his eyes.
congrats on the latest fake smile, by the way. It's genius. I love it.
Thank
you.
you. It's a fun one. We've always wanted to put out a song that's just that fast, and we finally were able to pull it off.
I'd like to think you pulled it off just right.
Thank you.
Do you guys jam out to your own music?
Oh,
Absolutely.
Always.
Absolutely. Especially that one and some other ones we've got cooking up.
He's like,
it's
we finally got a song with like a real drum part. Like he can really play
Yeah,
that.
that one was fun, just write and jam too, and it was great.
I usually run to our music. Like I run to Fake Smiles. So like I get on the treadmill and I'll actually run to it. So
they're always on my playlist as well.
There are certain songs that we won't listen to though.
Yeah.
Really?
For the most part, like most of them,
Yeah.
I think we all
I
like.
sometimes just
We do
forget.
like it.
We have just enough songs where I forget about the earlier ones.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's true. We've got, I think it's 18 now. We're about to put out 19 in the next couple months. So they're starting to stack up on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have like 2 EPs and a bunch of singles, so if like they're just kind of spread all over the place, so kind of forget about them.
I love that. Well, something I definitely do not do to your music is fucking run. So don't share that in common with you. So
That's fair. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you don't run
I
either.
don't run that much our songs.
oh no, I meant like I just don't run, period. So
Oh.
That's what I'm saying too.
no, definitely was not saying your music is not runnable. It's just I don't like to run. So
Yeah.
That's fair.
Me neither.
I mean, I used to in my younger days. I'm a lot older than you guys, and in my younger days, I was like a cross country freak. But those days are over. So
You're retired from it now. That's what it is.
hell yeah. As you guys know, it's part of my job to do a little bit of digging, right? Something that I like to do with my guests is to try to avoid like the generic questions. We don't do that here, okay? So some of you guys I'm going to be putting on the spot with some shit I found. It's all in light humor. And so are you guys ready to start?
Let's
Yeah,
do
let's
it.
do
I'm
it.
scared, but I'm ready.
Let's do it.
You should be a little scared, Zakk, because we're actually starting with you.
Ooh.
Great.
In 2014, you posted a picture in your briefs and a bow tie. Will this look ever make a comeback?
Ooh. I don't even remember why I posted that. I'm sure I was trying to get someone's attention somewhere, somehow. But I think that
Were you wearing glasses?
if I could ever get close to that 6-pack back, or I think it was a 4-pack, if I could ever get close to that again, maybe.
Is that still on Instagram?
I'm pretty sure I archived that because I know exactly what picture you're talking about.
It might be on Facebook. Then.
Oh,
Might
it's
be on
not
Facebook,
about
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm not ruling it out entirely, but I'd have to get that
Yeah,
Wow.
not
I didn't even
just
know
yet.
about that.
form back.
I don't even think I've seen the picture.
I need to.
Oh,
I need to
you
look
love
at
I
it.
know exactly what photo that is.
Oh, don't worry. It's going to be on this video when it airs, so you'll all get to see it.
You gotta send it to us if you
Please
can. I
do,
don't
yeah.
think I've seen them.
That's crazy. I forgot I even took that, but I do know exactly what picture you're talking about.
All right, Zakk, do you remember what location you tagged on that photo?
That I do not. No.
Are you ready to find out?
I'm terrified. Yeah, I'm ready.
The location you tagged was your bed.
Oh, no.
Why would I do that?
Why?
That sounds like something a 17-year-old me would do. So, or 18. It was probably 18.
That's pretty
Oh, no.
That's great. Yeah.
The best part about you archiving this is that, listen, the internet lives forever. You always find screenshots of everything, but I found that and I was just like, it was gold because I like to try to find things that I haven't heard you guys talk about. One, I want my fucking show to be, not only interactive, but I want it to be memorable, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I literally hit jackpot with that. So,
That is a jackpot.
I did not
I
see that coming.
I forgot that.
and just so everyone knows, we don't hoe shame on Unshut.
The internet lives forever.
That's
guys.
funny. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's the
that's right.
least like Zakk thing.
Yeah, that's so unlike him.
That's so
It's
out of
hilarious.
character.
That's how I knew Zakk growing up.
When I was younger, I never had a shirt on. Now I'd never take it off. It's the opposite, so.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, if anyone was curious, that's probably the heaviest shit I got on here. So everyone can relax.
That's good.
Don't worry. When I started this podcast, I wasn't trying to go like the traditional route. My idea was to go daytime talk show vibes and kind of catch people off guard, but in a positive way.
Yeah.
This world thrives off of negative media. And so my intention was to catch people off guard, but also to kind of break the ice. Little did I know that this podcast would be taking off the way it's taking off on streaming platforms. And so thanks to Zakk, topics like that is what gets the views. So
Hey, if it elevates
a great
the show,
episode.
I'm willing to do that. I'll take my shirt off again if it elevates the show.
it does elevate the show if you want to go ahead. I'm just kidding. Spence, you are always serving fashion. If you started your own line, what would it be called?
Oh my.
Great question.
I've never thought about that before.
I haven't either, but he is the guy. He
Fashion guy.
always has crazy outfits. I'm like, oh wow, you can pull that off somehow, some way.
There's definitely like phrases I've said that would be like something by Spence. Right? Like
Something by Spence, honestly. Is
something by Spence.
Something by Spence. I like that.
I had to circle back on that one. Spark something inside of me, I'm like,
You're welcome.
I could do that.
Well, if you had to pick between hats and coats, what would you design?
Ooh, coats. I think
Spencer
Like-
loves coats.
it's like hats. I think it's very general. Like you can get hats for most people, but coats, like for me specifically, I have a hard time actually finding ones that I'm like they get me, and I'm like I want to actually wear.
Did anyone else see that come up on the screen, a thumbs down or something?
how that happened, because I don't think anyone did like the thumbs down thing, but I didn't know that did that with like every program. It's kind of cool.
I was like, everybody's thumbsing down my
Yeah.
opinion about coats and hats.
I was like, great, they think I fucking suck. I'm good with hanging up if you are.
The stream, they're watching us right now. This is happening.
We're being hacked. I'm just kidding. Hopefully not. Your artwork is incredible.
Thank
Are
you.
any of your tattoos your own art pieces?
A couple are inspired by, but I let the tattoo artist I go to take creative liberty, of course. I've always wanted to actually have my own art tattooed. I just don't. It seems like it'd be too much time and effort for them to redraw it or have it printed out to put onto me. Everything I've drawn artwork wise is something I sit on for months. I'll start off with a basic idea and then I won't commit to lines, and then I do, and then I regret it, and then I just eventually finish it and I'm like, okay, I guess I like this. It gives me some time to process what I'm putting on the paper and emotionally putting out there creatively.
That's awesome. When did you start to draw?
Early on, when I was in middle school, I started drawing Adventure Time, cartoons. I eventually was freehanding that, and then I didn't draw for a while. And then I took a art class in high school, learned how to use pen work a lot better, and then I fell in love with that. Just whatever you put on the paper, you can't take back. And I feel that's very chaotic, and also kind of feels into how I feel.
I like
chaotic.
that a lot.
Well, thank you.
Logan, we're going to continue on with you. Are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
I did want to talk about something with you in regards to a previous band you were in, and I didn't even know how to quote this or how to even ask this. So the only thing I can ask is, are you Amish?
I am not Amish. None of the people in that band were Amish.
Are
It
you a
was
cow?
Not a cow either.
Okay.
So the reason that name came to be the Amish cows, me and some of my friends at the time were jamming and we were just like, oh, let's just start a band, whatever. Back in high school, and we couldn't think of a name because we're 14, we're just dumb. So we just went on bandnamegenerator.com and we put something with we just put Amish because we thought it was funny, and then something with cows. And then over time, I don't know, it just kind of generated a bunch of different things. We just ended up putting them together. So
That's
yeah.
classic.
And the
Classic.
reason it was with a K, cows was with a K, is because our guitarist at the time, his name was Jacob, but it was with a K instead of a C. So
Well, I know a lot of you guys have been in different bands. Do you guys have those previous members that listen to your music now that you know of?
So I mean,
Some of them do.
I think some of them like
handful of-
Jack.
Some
I
of
know.
them come to our shows still and support us. There's been a
Luckily-
lot of band members.
yeah,
collectively.
between
yeah.
everybody,
Yeah,
there's been
I
a
wouldn't
lot of
say there's
people.
any bad blood or anything with any of the old members. Just life happens.
Yeah, some have kids now, some went to out of state to college, just different things happen. So nobody ever said, I want this song or I'm leaving. It was never anything like that. So I mean, I think we've all been pretty civil with our
Like
band.
if they know we're still in a band, they're
Yeah.
supportive.
Yeah.
Me and Logan used to go to a camp where they would put you in a band for a semester, and we did that for years. So me and Logan wound up being in 10 plus bands just because they would rotate the kids every time.
We still know a bunch of different people from those different bands and stuff, and they all are still pretty good friends. So it's nice to, see them on Instagram or whatever, supporting us.
Do you two remember back in those days, kind of manifesting this journey?
This specific journey, no.
For me, yeah, because these three were in a band, and I would go see their band. I'd be like, I want to join that band.
Yeah, because the three of us have been playing together since 2011, 2012. David kind of came a little bit after that, but we've been playing basically since 2013. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I just hit 10
And
years.
Dan, probably in 2015, 16, was coming to our shows and starting to get to know us.
I was their biggest fan.
Yeah. He
I
would
went
show up
to-
with his dad, shake our hands, and say hi to us.
I
And
went
we're
to every show for 2 years, and they had no idea who I was.
Well, I did because Dan and I would talk guitar pedals.
Yeah, but that
So-
was after you
yeah.
guys met me.
Yeah, but
'cause
I
my
did-
band was playing at a show, and they just happened to walk in, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, I know you guys," and they're like, "Oh."
We're like, "You know
but
us? What do you
nice to
mean?"
meet
Yeah. But Dan and I would talk a lot after shows. I
Yeah.
remember.
How does that even start? So you were kind of going to their shows, you were kind of, liking what they were doing, up to that point. How did the conversation happen? How did you end up joining? I think that's so fucking awesome.
So when we had actually seen him play, we were like, okay, he's really, really good. And we had always wanted to play Sweet Child of Mine, but David and I could never play that. So we're like, hey, you're really, really good at guitar. Do you want to just come feature on one song for the show we're playing? And it was at a decent sized venue in Tampa. And he was like, sure, let me do it. And you were at the time 15, right?
I was really young.
So he was
You're
15,
I was 14.
14, and I was 18. Dave was 18. You were 17?
They were
Something like that.
Yeah.
So we were kind of just starting to really start playing shows a lot, and he joined in, and we are like, well, do you want to just come and practice even more songs with us? And up until probably a year ago, he always said you never even asked me to be in the band.
I never got
I
asked to
just
join the band. It was just
slowly
hey, come to
meshed my way in.
practice. Yeah.
So
It never stopped.
Yeah.
I think we made it official a year and a half ago. It was like, do you
Nice.
want to be in our band? And he's like, fine, I will officially be in the band.
as soon as
Yeah, 8 years later.
8 years
it
later.
came on a writing track, I think he became part of the band at
Yeah.
least a little bit.
Yeah.
It was really fun for me though. I was kind of living my dream.
And then going back to them playing in all those bands, because of that, he knew Logan. So when we had a drumming vacancy, we were like, who can fill in on
Do
short
you know
notice?
anybody that's really good? And he's like,
Logan,
That
for the
name.
first practice, learned, we had at the time a whole album of songs that we were just kind of working on. Logan learned them all in one day. And he came and played. And we're like, all right, this works. This is
Yeah.
great. This is pretty
I
good.
mean, it was crazy because we went to play this huge festival and it was Logan's first show with us. So we're like, oh crap.
Yeah, the first show I played with them was a battle of the bands to open for a giant radio festival here in Tampa.
Like Young the Giant, Coin, they were
Coin,
still small.
Milky Chance and
Amazing.
Group
Group
Love was the headliner.
Was the headliner.
So it was a big
so,
first
yeah,
couple
I
shows
was
for
like,
him.
man, if like the band doesn't win the battle of the bands, like they're gonna kick me out. So luckily we won and played the big festival. So
Logan, do you feel like that pressure is kind of what also, I mean, if you're going to jump into something, I feel like this is just in life in general. If you're going to jump into something, it's good to just jump in full force. Do you
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like that played a huge factor into the trajectory of where this was all going?
I think so. I mean, if I'm joining a new project or if I need to fill in somebody, for whatever, I try to learn everything the best I can. So that way, when I go to their practice, I'm not wasting anybody's time. Like I want to make sure, everyone's sounding the best they can. So
I love that. Dan, I want to talk about your sunglasses. I want to pretend we are at some brunch and you're wearing your sunglasses inside, which, by the way, I am notoriously known for always keeping my shades on. I don't like taking them off, and it's not because I'm a stuck-up bitch. Sometimes I am, but my eyes get so fucking crazy when I laugh, and I've always been a little bit low-key insecure about that. So when I go out with friends, I always leave them on, and now it's just a habit. So this actually happened to me, so I'm excited to hear what your response is. You don't want to know what my response was because it's not something I would like to make fun of on the pod, but maybe I'll say it. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. We are at a brunch and it's, obviously we're inside. You're sitting at a table and someone sarcastically comes over to you and says, "Ooh, it's so bright in here, isn't it?" What do you respond?
Yeah.
What's funny is that's true.
That's literally how
that is what I would say.
That's literally what
Not
I get so many comments about that, and I'm usually just like,
Yeah.
And then I'll like look at them, and then they'll usually like
Do like the
He-
stare.
get a little weird.
He
out.
usually
Just like the
just
stare.
glasses, stares at people until they walk away.
Yeah.
Like, he'll say, yeah.
And then you-
Because if someone
you'll
says
do
that to
you'll
me,
do that.
they're like obviously like throwing shade.
Literally, no
But
pun
so-
intended.
Yeah, they're throwing shade. So I'm just like, you don't really want to talk to me, so I'm not going to give you a reason.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you had something you say. What do you say when someone walks up to you and says it?
All right, so if I get canceled, it's because of Zakk's fault. Listen, I don't bite my
Don't
tongue.
put that on me.
This actually did happen to me not too long ago, and it was some older lady, and she happened to be really rude about it, which usually when someone's like, "Oh, it's so bright in here," I'm the same way. I laugh it off. I just stare at them, whatever. But she actually ended up nudging me, and it kind of triggered me. So I flat out told her I had a tumor and that she shouldn't bother anyone who wears their sunglasses and said, because you never know what they have. She felt like complete shit.
You know?
And I don't know what came over me to respond that way. I would never, ever make a joke about anything like that.
I'm a firm believer in like learning your lesson from stuff like that. And I feel like if she didn't learn a lesson from that, she's just not all like put together there, because that's a great way to teach someone that lesson, to be like, you really shouldn't judge someone because you don't know what they're going through. I mean, you could get cataract surgery and have to wear sunglasses. You could be blind.
Exactly. David, I want to talk about your ACL. What happened?
Oh, geez. Yeah.
It's a recent one.
Yeah, so I tore my ACL playing flag football
On
Super Bowl
touch
Sunday.
football.
Yeah, it was like touch. Yeah, it was just like a bunch of buddies, and yeah, I hadn't played in like 3 years, and I was like really amped to play. And like halfway through the game, I just cut too hard, and I tore my ACL. So yeah, not fun.
What was
Don't
you
recommend.
cut and people ran into
something
you?
Yeah, I collided with someone too. It was like a combination.
It was
of
like a
lot of
really
things.
bad
Yeah.
moment.
I blew up my knee. It just freaking
Yeah.
blew up, and yeah, I knew something was wrong immediately. So
Don't lie, you probably just tripped and were embarrassed, and now you're.
You were there. None of us were there. Were you there? Nobody was
I
there.
I was
after.
getting off the couch and I tore my ACL.
No, one of the people we do know that was there said it sounded like a car crash. Like it sounded like
it sounds like a twig like snaps. That's what it sounds like. It's really loud, and everybody knew like, oh crap,
extremely loud.
something is.
I
very loud.
actually called it. I told David before. I was like, David, I feel like you shouldn't play that game.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get hurt.
But I was like so committed. I was really.
He
happy.
literally
and I
said-
placed the bet on it. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna bet money
Yeah,
that
he
like
did
you
say
get
that I
hurt
was gonna
if
get
you
hurt.
play, and then
Yeah,
he did.
And David literally was
the worst outcome. Yeah.
David was literally like, "Nah, man, I'm built for this. I should have joined the
What's
NFL."
up with, like,
David was like really fit. He had like lost all of his weight and he was like ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, David was running. He was really
Yeah,
putting.
I like recently lost like 60 pounds. Like I was in really good shape, and like
Are you still in good shape?
yeah, I started running again, so I'm back to running and all that. But it's still Still little things here and there.
Yeah.
So what I also got from that was that Dan is kind of a witch, so don't fuck with him.
Yeah.
He predicts
Yeah, he
futures.
predicts the
Like
future,
he's
yeah. I gotta listen to Dan more often.
I love that. David, why do they say that you give dad vibes?
Because I look like I'm 40, and when I'm at the bar, I never get ID'd. So
That's not true.
I feel like it's because
Nah.
he could be more responsible. Like if we decide
He's-
to do something during the week, he'd be like, "No, I'd rather just stay in,
Yeah.
save my money."
He's
and
more of like
I gotta be
the.
up
no, it's not
early."
even the money part. I'm just like I want to be in bed by 10. That's really what it is.
He's
But
also
then again,
like
I relate
the,
to that
the
too,
guy
so.
who just like wants to love everybody. You know?
Yeah, I'm like bed by
Take
10.
care of his
wake up
boys.
early.
Yeah.
He's a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. He's out there fucking tackling people. So, David, do you know where I got that question from?
No, I'm actually curious.
So I don't know if it was you guys or someone else, and now I'm blanking out, but it was a post that someone made about Halloween costumes. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, I mean we did skeleton
Oh,
shirts.
what,
Yeah,
no,
we-
no, someone was doing costumes as us.
Doing costumes as us.
Was that?
This past Halloween or like a few years ago, if you remember.
I think it was a few years ago.
Oh, right here.
Oh,
Oh, it might be that.
It's this
That's
one.
what it is.
It's
Yes, yes.
there you
So
go.
it says
I
messed
can
up
find that.
ACL, can of liquid death,
Dad vibes.
Dad
Yeah.
vibes.
That's what it was.
See,
bad eyesight.
That's because
Because
I am wearing glasses. I'm terrible.
That's too-
Triple A.
Triple A because of the
Oh,
the
'cause-
band.
This might be part of why also we got stranded when we were in Utah in October, and he was the only one with AAA. So he called and he
Responsible.
was like, "All right, I'm responsible. I got AAA. Let's get us towed out of here." So that might be part of why you were dad.
I
vibes
think that's
too.
what it is.
That's
Too.
funny.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know.
on
We've got this.
that was a fan account someone made. We don't know who's running it.
We
so
don't know
it's-
who runs this, but
They do
the
a great
content
job.
is amazing on it. The content is amazing. Like stuff like that. Like they'll find the things like the picture of me with a bow tie. They'll find that and we're like, where did they find this?
Like, I don't even know.
So-
what
Yeah.
Shout out because
Quarter
it's
to,
called
quarter to midnight breakers, I think.
Quarter Midnight Breakers.
Yeah, quarter to
Whoever
midnight.
you are, we love you.
We love you and we appreciate all the laughs you've been providing.
Well, I mean, it definitely wasn't me, and I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of shitting bricks a minute ago because I'm like, they're gonna think I just like totally called him a dad vibe by myself. I'm like, I didn't fucking do this. This was on the internet.
He gets it. He gets it.
I
I
do
mean,
know that's since I was 20, I've been getting that. So it's not something.
he remembers the exact day.
Yeah, but my hope is like by the time I reach 40, I'll just look really good. 'Cause
Yeah.
if I'm already looking 40, maybe I'll just stay.
You grow
looking-
into
yeah.
it.
You don't look old. And the good thing about people of our color, I don't know what your ethnicity is, but we don't crack the way most people do. So,
I just turned 27 and I already got crow's feet. You don't even have that.
No, I don't.
what is your ethnicity?
Oh, my mom is from a small country called Guyana. It's in South America, and my dad's Puerto Rican.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, so you're not going to crack. I think you're going to be fine.
He's perfectly fine.
He's gonna look 20 when he's 60.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, knock on wood.
Hell yeah. I mean, I know my family ages really well, but crow's feet were not nice. I have Botox all throughout my entire fucking face. So I don't think you're going to crack and I don't think you're going to need it. So I think you're going to be good. We're going to go from Nightbreakers to Heartbreakers. We're going to pretend that you're all single, first of all, and I am the most butt-ass ugly girl to ever walk the earth. How would you turn me down?
I feel like it's about like what
Oh,
they
man.
say, you know?
Yeah, what's the pickup line, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is it aggressive? Is it like passive? You know, that's I think that plays a lot into kinda
Super
how-
aggressive and fucking creepy, like
This is our weak spot. We are not good with confrontation. When someone says anything to us, we hide.
All you gotta say is, sorry, I'm in love with somebody else. Because then it's like, well, what are they gonna say to that? 'Cause
I
you're not
think-
turning them down. You're just saying, oh,
As long as I'm not cornered, I think I would play it off till I could just get away without saying anything rude.
I mean, we've played a few bars in our time, and I feel like anytime someone comes up to us and they're like, you know, either belligerent or just, we usually just in the moment say something like, "We're already taken, sorry," something like
So I have
that.
to go deal with all the trail.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, I gotta go
Take the
pay my
car.
taxes real quickly. I'll be back, and then
I just say I'm emotionally unavailable. So
that's also true.
oh, I like that.
emotionally unavailable
Right?
right now. it's just an off the
yeah,
best.
but then they're like, but you could be for me, you know?
Like, I-
And then I go with the. I
That's
got,
why if you say you're in love with somebody else, it's like, oh, well.
Yeah. I feel like also like, oh, I gotta go pack up. You know, they're gonna get
Yeah,
mad
I
at me
think I'm
if you don't
busy.
pack up.
I feel
So,
like there's no winning. in
Yeah,
this
but then you
situation.
avoided the question.
I hear
well,
someone-
no, you just gotta rush away and go pack up.
I'm gonna try to be very
I'm
nice.
getting a phone call. Hold on.
You say yes, and then you go drive your motorcycle up a mountain and then disappear forever.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Say yes, and then you
Like what was that?
Yeah.
James Dean who did that?
So,
That was someone in the 50s.
Yeah.
Someone like that.
just go off the grid. Yeah, just disappear.
Who is the most approachable when you guys are out and about together? Who gets hit on the most?
Gets hit on.
Oh, probably these.
Hit on?
Logan gets hit on the
Maybe Logan,
most.
yeah.
Most
but
approachable.
Everyone walks up.
Yeah,
to
he
you.
is definitely the most.
He's also the most personable. Like we all get kind of scared when someone walks up to us, and he's like, "No, hi. Like I hope you enjoyed like the night. Like oh, it's like great to see you." And I would say the same thing, but I'm like,
He gets kind of twitchy
yeah.
sometimes. He's like, "Hi there."
I'm very shy by nature.
We're all a little.
We're all
shy.
very, very shy. I think that I
Zach's
just
had
have
a
turned
lot
it off
more,
and learned.
He's definitely like the most like
you're
people
a front
person.
man. You're a front
Like,
man.
you got people
you,
skills.
you deal with that.
I think that the way it is just like when you're a front man and a singer, you're constantly talking.
You have to.
And you know, there's no mystery in a front man usually because you have to do all the talking. Like this guy over here, like everyone thinks he doesn't even speak English sometimes because they're like, he hasn't said anything. He's not really
Sitting there with the
talking. He's just
sunglasses,
staring
smiling.
off with the sunglasses. I'm like, oh yeah, go talk to him. And then he runs away.
I usually tell people he just speaks Spanish, like he doesn't know English. So
Which is true. I mean, it is true.
He speaks good Spanish, so
Do you really?
Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican.
That's fucking cool. I did not know that.
Yeah,
His last name's Smith. It's hard to tell.
My name is Dan Smith, but I'm Puerto Rican.
he's the whitest Puerto
I
Rican.
grew up in Puerto Rico.
Wait, you grew up in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Are you guys fucking with me right now, or is this like legit
No,
true story?
it's like it doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
Yeah.
If like you've never heard that before
I
and you can't see
was
that.
born in New Jersey and raised in Puerto Rico, and then in 6th grade we moved back to America to Florida.
Besides him being Mr. Mystery back there, you would never be able to tell he was.
Part of the
speaks
mystery.
I also tell people between Dan and I, we make a whole Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
so
we do.
we're both halves.
That is awesome. In A Quarter to Midnight, there's a line on there that says, I want to feel like this forever. What is a moment you could relive over and over again?
Honestly, for me, I think it's like moments when we were on tour in October or
Mhm.
even earlier last year when we played. And I mean, we were on tour with some bands that have great followings. So we would bring maybe like 20 people max to these shows, but there would be like 300 people there. Having that many people in front of us willing to listen to us and check us out, even though we were just opening bands, that like honestly felt amazing.
Singing our songs back to us, like
Yeah, people, because
Yeah.
the one thing about music nowadays is it's very accessible. If you know a band is going on tour, you're more inclined than ever to check out who's opening. So a lot of people did their research, checked us out ahead of time, and were already singing our songs that had just come out literally before they had even seen us live. And that was super cool for us. That's a moment I could live forever. I don't know. A lot of you probably.
No, I
Yeah, I would say
Dude,
tour.
it's the
When
same
we went on
thing.
tour with Nightly and Knox, I mean, every single one of those shows, honestly, is
I wanted to feel like
that
those
every
moments.
I just want to do that again.
For
Yeah.
me, it was going out to dinner with Nightly in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
We went to
Like,
Hooters. It was great.
Yeah.
Jonathan came up to us the night before. I think we were in Seattle. And
Originally, he said
He's
Olive
Olive
Garden.
Garden.
Yeah.
Olive Garden, and he was like, "Hey, do you guys want to, grab some
What's up,
dinner with
Olive
us
Garden in
tomorrow?"
Omaha?
we were like,
Yeah.
Of course.
Like, because we looked up to them. Like, they're a band that we look up to. So, like, even that little gesture.
Probably for almost 10 years
Yeah,
now. Like,
yeah.
literally
Wild.
since
They're
2016.
my favorite band ever. So
Yeah.
even going on tour with them was
So
crazy.
just being able to hang out with them like that was like such a surreal moment for us because like we're kind of big idols of us. So
Nightly and Knox are the nicest people on the
They
planet.
really
Yeah,
Love them.
them and their whole crew were
Very
super
nice,
nice,
like,
cool
great
people,
people,
and it was great.
Oh, yeah.
Those moments I want to live and feel like forever.
yeah.
At what point did it hit you that all the hard work you've been putting in led you to be surrounded by people that you looked up to? And eventually that's going to happen to some of these newer bands that are just now establishing themselves. They're looking up to you, and one day they're going to be hopefully aligning themselves with you.
I think it might be the same moment at Hooters. We were talking to Hooters of all places. Who would have known this is where all the deep
Hooters.
conversations are having? Obviously, playing the shows and being in front of the people, like it felt like, wow, it's paying off. But we were talking to Joey, and he was like, man, whenever we get offers from openers, like whenever we get the email and it says, can this band open for you type of thing, they get the approval on it. They say yes or no. And they said it is terrifying to take a band that you've barely heard of or never even heard of
Never
out.
met.
Never met, first of
Yeah.
all. And they said, we were so happy that you guys were like level-headed. You didn't take an hour to sound check. You guys showed up, you respected us, you didn't get wasted on stage, things like that. Like that was a big moment for us because we were like, man, so all this stuff, we've played all these shows and we've worked on getting everything very tight. It impressed them. That was really, really cool for us. So, I mean, a big thing for any smaller artist, I mean, we're small, but anyone who's like trying to get to even our level, just make sure every little thing is tight because the details matter just as much as, playing an arena. Every little detail still matters. It just gets amplified.
And going off that, I told Joey the same thing. I was like, I hope one day that we're in the position that we can kind of pass what you guys did for us along, like to the next band.
Information.
I would love to be able to help out a smaller artist that's on the up and up.
Yeah, we're forever grateful to be on that tour. We're very
one day I'd love to just do that again, like how they did.
It also is super motivating because now that that's over, we've been putting together more shows. Like we're going to be in Atlanta and Nashville, things like that. And now we know how hard we have to work to make sure that we maintain it and keep getting these opportunities because just as fast as it can happen, it's over. And then you have to get to the next opportunity. So
it did keep morale high for us though. Like I think after that, even when we like got told that we were going to be on that tour, it was like, oh man, like we're going on tour with like our favorite bands. Like that's crazy, like,
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks out, it's
keep morale high.
Yeah, so that was pretty inspiring.
Didn't even plan on talking about this, but I love that it's kind of organically going there because there was something I had watched on YouTube just last night. I think it was an interview you did, Zakk. I think it was just you, maybe someone else. Sorry, I don't remember who it was. And I watched it just very, very quickly. It was a Tampa radio host or something. And they said like, thank you guys so much. You guys are always so professional and on time. To me, I felt like it was kind of the universe speaking to me. I've dealt with situations where I've been kind of left hanging on Zoom. And it's happened, where I have a scheduled interview and then just no one shows up. And so those things do happen. And I think that you take your art, your craft, you take it so seriously when you know what it's like to be rejected so harshly. And so I think that that is something that speaks volumes to you guys is that because I feel like you guys have been doing this so long together, you know what it's like to go through heartaches together. So you're able to take things and opportunity a little bit more seriously. And I think that's a good message to put out there for upcoming bands. And to me, you're not small. To me, you were a huge fucking win for me.
Well, we appreciate that.
Thank you.
And we thank you like having us and stuff like that. Cause it's, when we get emails like this to do podcasts like this, it really does make us feel like, wow, there are people out there who care and who are watching our journey as we take every single step. We want to find out more about, Logan and David's dad vibes, things like that.
No, for sure. And I think what makes this so special to me too is that something that I set out to do when I launched this was no favors. I'm literally going to do this from the ground up completely by myself. Well, organically, I started to network with some good people. Something that was so huge for me is I just went with my gut. With you guys, this is so fucking corny, but I listen to your music in my backyard a lot. I watch my girls play in the backyard and I just jam out to your music. So I fucking wrote you. So
Appreciate
awesome.
that. Thank you.
That's so
to be
cool.
on that list.
Yeah, thank you.
That's how we kind of like we write down a list of bands that we want to tour with, based on who we like. So like we do that too. And it's so cool that you picked us.
That is cool. I mean, that's always what we strive for too. Like we want to be one of the, like we have a lot of core supporters and people who listen to us. We like knowing that there are people who we still can go meet who listen to us all the time, but we haven't met yet. And
Especially
like that
casually,
like the casual listener type of thing. Like we want to meet all those people like yourself and get to know every single one of them. So that's like making us super happy right now hearing that.
New people like you, like when people like your Instagram post or like share your song on their story or whatever, and you've never recognized that name before. It's just really cool.
It happened in San Francisco too. We went and there was someone who's like, I've been listening to you guys since 2019 and I never thought you guys would come play here. This is the coolest moment for them. And then we're like, this is the coolest moment for us. Like, what do you mean?
people are listening.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel that feeling too, especially when I hear someone like you, Zakk, who you're like, we're a small band. And in my head, I'm kind of like going like, man, I think that's what makes these moments so humbling for me, is because some of the guests that I have had on here, I don't think that the ignorance is there for them to know just how influential and big they are. It's so humbling to hear people that they just don't think that they are that massive. But to some people, you are the most massive thing they have. Something something that happened to me, and this is a very spontaneous idea I had because it just happened to me this morning, is obviously listening to your music, which is a ritual I have when I have a musical guest on all morning. That's all I listen to. It's how I draw inspiration. It's one of my little things I do. It's nothing special. But something that happened to me while I was out back with my girls, I was listening to one of your songs and I misheard a lyric. And so that gave me the idea of like, let me see how many lyrics I can mishear, tell them what I heard, and see if they can guess the song.
Awesome. I love it.
Alrighty. So, and anyone feel free to, this is not just for one person in particular. This is just for anyone who can catch on. The line of the song says, or at least this is what I heard, you know, I'd be lying if I said I could be gayer.
Is that close?
It's
It is.
I knew it.
I know it's close. You know I'd be lying if I said I could forget ya. That's what it is. Forget ya. That's funny because that's like
That is so
that's when
funny.
you're writing the songs. You just have to make the rhyme work. Forget you. Forget ya.
That is so
That is good.
What was so funny about this too is that was the first one, the first line that I heard that I was like, did they just say gayer? I'm like, not me having like my gay fucking moment in my backyard. Like, what? I'm like, all right. And so I literally, like a fucking loser, made myself laugh. And I was laughing about this for almost 10 minutes. And so then I'm like, wait a minute. Now I need to go back and listen to other songs and see how much shit I mishear. So are you guys ready for the second one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And by the way, this is not all going to be gay geared. Okay. So the second one is Counting Gays and Getting Older. What song is that?
That's fake smile.
Big smile. Big smile, yeah.
Counting days and just getting on.
That is hilarious.
All right. The
That's-
next one is My Favorite Shade of Green is in Your Ass.
In my
In my head.
It's in your eyes. Eyes.
My favorite shade of green is in your eyes. That's close too. That one might be the
That would
closest
be a
one.
wild lyric.
This is the best interview we've ever had.
I'd be very
Oh,
sorry.
yes.
This is so awesome.
Dude, because this is what Dan does. Like when we have a song coming out, he'll have to do like some of the TikTok
He'd be like, "Hey, send me the
transcription,
lyrics.
and he'll be like, "You don't say that," and I'm like, "Yes, I do," and he's like, "You're not saying like."
What's the song? What's
It's
the song
funny
in my
because
head?
the two that you just said are ones that I like completely used to botch the lyrics. on.
Yeah, I mean, he
Right.
probably didn't think it was like could be gay or anything like
Yeah,
that. But
that's-
I
What's
don't.
that one Bridget?
For close, Dad said it would fall apart, but it's destined to fall
Oh
apart.
yeah, destined to fall apart.
I
Play-
guess that was
no way.
Dad said it'd fall apart because that just makes sense. Like, you know,
I love it.
trademark. It's like
Every
not knowing the
song-
lyrics.
Just hearing
Yeah.
the lyrics and being like, no, this is it. I do that for my favorite artist. So
Hell yeah. So in the future, when I ever make it to one of your shows, you'll have to use some of these to see if I actually pick up on the fact that you said ass instead of, whatever it was.
Just bring a poster board and say them, and then I'll just say it. I'll just be like,
read it.
just a
yeah.
family shade of green is in your ass.
All the wrong.
That's true. She needs to go get checked out.
Yeah, I know what kind of green is down there.
I mean, listen, like I know you're joking, but something I do with all my guests, I never follow their Instagrams. I don't do the whole like, let me go and follow everyone. Like, no, like I am trying my best to truly create authentic relationships here. So it's like, so if I don't follow you after the fact, it's because I just didn't like how the interview went. And I'm very honest about that. And so I don't do the whole like, follow me and I'll follow you just because. It's like, no, we don't do that. You'll either follow me because you fucking like me or don't. It's totally cool. I don't take that shit personal. So it's so funny that you say that because once I am connected with someone, it doesn't matter how big or small they are. I am the biggest down bitch you'll ever meet. So if you are like, no, seriously, come to the show and wear this and do this, I'm like, if that's what you fucking want for me to show you that I'm a ride or die, I'll fucking do it. So
I love
all right,
it.
the last one I have for you guys, and this was one that I actually deleted multiple times because I couldn't believe I wrote this down, but we're doing it. So the lyrics that I heard were, and now I'm fucking blushing myself and my hands are sweating. Kind of want to know, could your coochie coochie help me out?
That's the quarter to midnight. It's quarter to midnight. We've heard that since day one.
No.
It's like the demo.
Wait, really?
I
Yeah.
always hear coochie coochie coo,
Yeah.
like coochie coochie coo.
There's a reason why I do that one. Hold on, I can't think of it right now.
Could you can't help me out.
Yeah.
There's a song that I got inspiration. There's like Oh my God, I can't. There's a reason why it's like that. I just can't remember it right now. But
I want to hear what other people think of our lyrics sometimes too.
It is really interesting.
could you help
Like
me?
what they hear the first time.
Yeah,
That's funny.
that is
Because
so
you
funny.
can't be the only one that's hearing these
Yeah.
and being like, what?
Well, it's funny. It happens to us too. Like when Zakk still like brings an idea, I'm like, that sounds like that, and it's not what that is at all.
Yeah.
Like, it happens all the time.
That's so funny.
So now next time you sing this song, that's all you're gonna think about. You're
Oh,
gonna
I'm
be
gonna
thinking
mess it
about
all up
coochie.
right
I
now.
could say it on accident.
We'll see if anyone actually notices. That'll be the big thing, the big test.
Yeah, I grew up listening to a lot of Fall Out Boy and like Blink-182, and they're the kings of not enunciating. So like I've always tried to do the opposite and like enunciate every word, but sometimes that pop punk sound still comes out where like stuff just kind of goes all together. But could you help me?
You do be
could
rapping
help me out?
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's
Not the best rapper either, so maybe I just need to stop doing that.
No, keep doing what you're doing. It's fucking gold. It's magic. I talk to my partner about these episodes all the time. What I love about this is that sometimes just going with like what you find silly, what you find to not be the best idea, always turns out to be what make the most memorable parts of these interactions. And so keep doing what you're doing. Don't change it because I said coochie. Spence and Zakk, I love that you guys are brothers, but something that I loved the most was finding how many baby pictures your mom posts about you guys.
Yeah, she's great at that.
That's a great Facebook account.
There's a gold mine.
There's all those photos she
He
posts.
goes
Yeah,
through those photo albums all the time. He's like, look at this picture here. I'm like,
Well,
"Mom."
now they're compounding too, because not only does she have the pictures, like the baby pictures, she's also got the Facebook memory. So now she'll have a baby picture and a Facebook memory and then a baby picture, and it's like compounding more and more.
Yeah.
And now even you guys are getting involved because the things that are 7 years old are starting to come back around. So it's
Yeah.
like
I love
He's like, look at this
seeing.
baby picture of you.
It's an endless cycle. Yeah.
Dan will see something from 5 years ago and be like, no, that was last month. And we're like, no, that was 5 years ago. He's like, no way. No way.
No way, dude.
Oh, I love it. It definitely made my day because it made me think of my mom. She is such a huge fan of everything I've ever done in my entire life. First of all, sometimes she makes me feel like I go viral. And something that I have really preached about up until this point is I have yet to have a viral moment. I don't have a fuck ton of followers on Instagram. And so the organic growth that it's taking is just, in my opinion, very rewarding. But I always make jokes with my partner because I'm like, I'll open up my TikTok, for instance, and then I'm like, what? I just got all these likes. No, it's just my mom catching up. So when I saw your mom post those pictures, I'm like, man, like she's such a big supporter, and that reminded me of my mom. So because I know your mom is going to be watching this,
Yes.
first of all, I have to say sorry to our moms. I said coochie on here and all these other things. Ignore that part. But something I want to do is I want you all to go one at a time, and I want you to leave a message to someone that you know has been riding this wave with you since the beginning. Someone that you can think of that has just been a good supporter, even when you were flopping to now when you're doing so well. Let's leave them a message. So
Well, you want to do it together? I think it's mom and dad. Mom has been around literally since.
Well, I was gonna give
the
you
beginning.
the mom and dad, and I
Okay, well, I'll take mom and dad. My dad, when I was younger, he drove me all over the place just to kind of get shows, get conferences, do things like that. Then recently, our mom has been like at every single show, like rain or shine. She'll even be like, we just did like a thing where we were playing the Florida State Fair every single day, and she was there every single day, and that was awesome. So that's definitely the ride or die. Who do you got?
I'm also with that, but I feel like I can get away with getting 2 extra shout outs that have been with us since the beginning, especially like when Zakk was just doing his own thing. Jesse and Becky
I
Moore.
was gonna say that.
They followed Zakk since he was doing his solo stuff, and they grew up with us basically, and they're still
Maybe this
there
guy's
to
cold.
every show. Like they were at the same thing we were doing with the fair. They come to every show they can. They support us everywhere they can.
And that's going back.
Mm.
And that's going back to like 2011 probably.
Real MVP right
Yeah.
there.
MVP.
And that's good, but they still support all of us and come out when they can. So love y'all.
That was a good one. That was a good one. What about you, Logan?
I would say my mom and dad too. I mean, they've always been super supportive of everything I've done. All the Amish cow shows, they were all at every single show. They try to come out to every single one of our shows. So everything I do, they're always super supportive and trying to, be there for me. So it's been great to have them. Love my dream too. So
You can go next, David.
Mine is more like a holistic one. It's just thankful to anybody that's like supported us, or like, you've ever come up to a show or listen to our music, like any little bit helps. And I'm just super thankful to be in the position that I'm in, that we're in, that we can do this for a living and super grateful for it.
Same. I mean, parents are the obvious one, you know,
Yeah.
the real MVPs. I will say someone that has been at every show for the past like 7 years. Shout out Casper.
Ooh,
Really?
Casper's been there.
Casper has been at,
Yeah.
if we're playing in Tampa or really in Florida, Casper has been there. So,
Casper, Caden.
I know we're missing people.
oh yeah,
We're
there's
missing
so
a
many
lot
people,
of people,
100
yeah.
million people.
Yeah.
Our
Lexi.
Tampa family is like, obviously now we've started to get lucky enough to go out of state, but our Tampa like supporters have been there since some pretty bad music was being put out when we were like making stuff like beat boot music on our laptops and it did not sound very good, and they've believed in us and supported us, and it means so much. It really, really does.
If we forgot somebody, we're thinking about you.
Yeah, you know who you,
You know
are.
who you are if
Yeah.
you've been to
And
every
we
show.
appreciate
We just got little tiny brains.
Yeah,
So,
we're very thankful for it.
Yeah, we've just been thinking about Pirates of the Caribbean all week.
Yeah, we
so it's like
the Caribbean.
And I think that's why I wanted to do this, because it's something that I know for me, like, I mean, I have my cringy shit up too. Like, I have my first couple of episodes, like, I had cotton mouth. I was in my room by myself. I didn't know how to do angles. I was so nervous. But it's so important to remember those people that ride or die with you, even from your cringiest moments. And I'm like, I have a feeling you're biggest blowout is yet to come. And so I wanted to make sure that you guys kind of gave your thanks to even now, because
Yeah.
I know, especially with how far you guys have made it already, even 5 years from now, I want you guys to look back at this and have that like heartfelt moment with the people that you just thanked, because I can't even imagine what you're going to be doing in the next 5 years. So
well, thank you.
Thank you.
That
Thanks for
means
giving
so
that,
much.
that moment for us.
Thank you for your
Yeah.
platform and this opportunity as well. So I appreciate it.
for sure. And speaking of platform, something that I wanted to do with you guys is I'm going to teach you guys some sayings in Spanish, because something I've been dying to do, which I can't speak on it yet, but I've been dying to do my first Spanish episode. And for the past few months, I've been like really working hard at getting just the right guests to do it in Spanish. Before I get to drop that episode, I'm like, with Nightbreakers, there's 5 of you, and 5 of my top countries are in Spanish. So we're going to do this. The first one is ¿qué?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
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 And that basically means like super cool in Spain.
Oh, I know that one. Okay, I was overthinking it for a second. I was like, because what's the one? There's like, ¿Por qué Rosarita from Zoe 101? I don't know if you remember that. ¿Por qué Rosarita?
Remember that? I used to watch the
that,
show. all the
That's showing
time.
my age right there.
I thought you guys were sitting there going gay, 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 gay. I'm like, they're
No, I
calling
was
me gay.
overthinking it because I was not thinking why. I was thinking like that was a brain fart right there.
No, you're totally good.
Yeah, we were awfully quiet back
Yeah,
there.
the Spanish
I'm
speaking guys.
letting the Americans try this out.
Yeah.
Hey, you're more American.
Puerto Rico is America. What do you mean?
The next one's Argentina, and something they say that says very cool, Copado Argentina.
Oh,
The
yeah.
next one's for my Mexican listeners. I want you guys to say que padre. So the literal translation to padre means like father, but in Mexico, they use this term that's like que padre, like that is so fucking cool. So it's a way to explain that. So I want you guys to say que padre Mexico.
There we go.
Okay, so you guys are getting a little too good at this. I liked it better when you were fucking up. I'm just kidding. The next one's a little bit longer. Hola, cheros y cheras de El Salvador. That means hello, guys and girls from El Salvador. The
Very good.
last one I have is obviously for my country, for my listeners that are out in Guatemala. And this is the one we're going to be closing this out with. It says, Saludos a todos los chapines, somos Nightbreakers. That's basically saying greetings to all the chapines. That's all the Guatemalans listening. Somos Nightbreakers. We are Nightbreakers. Gold. That was gold. I saw a couple of you guys lip singing back there. I'm just kidding.
I skipped the first word after saludos.
No, that was awesome. I really wanted to kind of prep you guys on that in the email, but I'm like, no, I'm going to put them on the spot.
More
This is
So,
fun.
more
on the
fun.
spot.
Yeah, it makes
This
it
is a lot more fun.
Yeah.
amazing. Go ahead and tell everyone where your next upcoming shows are. What are those dates if you know them on top of your head? And also tell everyone where to find you, where to stream your music, and we're going to wrap it up.
All right, so we are Nightbreakers. All of our music is available on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. Find us on TikTok and Instagram. You can find our social media platforms, and we post pretty much everything. We do have 3 big shows coming up. We have Atlanta on April 11th, and we have a home show in Tampa April 13th, and then we're going to be in Nashville on May 9th. So if you're in the Southeast region and if you have any time, come out and see us. All those dates are on our Instagram, our TikTok, Facebook, all the above. So we love to become friends.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much for giving me your time. I know it's not always easy to get all together, and this is actually the first episode I have of not just one member of the group. So I'm very, very grateful and excited for that. This is very special.
Awesome.
We're happy to be
fun.
here. We're so happy
We
to
had
be
a lot
part
of
of
fun.
this.
Amazing. Hopefully it was memorable enough so that when, you know, we're doing even bigger shit than what we're doing, we can revisit these moments together. It'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
This was awesome.
Absolutely.
This was awesome.
We'll do it
This
in
was great.
person in a big studio one day, right?
Yes, definitely.
Fuck yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Part 2.
We'll make this happen again.
We'll watch this
Amazing.
back.
Yeah, we'll just like react.
Well, yeah, it'll just be us reacting to it in like a year or two, right? Like it'll just be that.
There we go.
100%.
Thank you.
so much.
Appreciate
Thanks
it,
for
Mo.
listening to our
Appreciate
music.
you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
Appreciate
Bye.
it.
Alrighty, take care, you guys.
You too.
KY
KY
España.
España.
KY España.
1, 2, 3.
Hola,
cheros y cheras. De la El Salvador, Copado, Argentina. Que padre tengo. Saludos a todos los chapines. Somos Nightbreakers.
Hey, if you've made it this far, don't forget to follow the socials on the screen or in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you next week.